The next step would be converting your sketches into digital designs. We will be using Adobe Illustrator for that, and I'm going to show you the entire process in this video. I assume you already know how to use Adobe Illustrator, but if you are new, let me walk you through the software real quick. First of all, this is how Adobe Illustrator looks like when you create a new document. On the left sidebar, you have the tools such as the Move tool, the Pen tool, the Shape Builders, etc. There are additional tools such as the Align and Transform tools, right at the top panel over here. And on the right side here, you have the Colors panel, the Layers panel, and also the other tools. When you select an element in Illustrator, it will show you different options at the top panel. These options change according to what element you have selected. For example, if I select Text Editor, and I will have options like the font, size, alignment, and other settings. At the topmost, you have the menu bar, where you have all the various menus, which we can go into much detail, but you can always explore them on your own. Let's have a look at a few important tools that you will need while designing logos. The first one is the Selection tool, which selects any element on your artboard. Right below that is the Direct Selection tool, which selects the path of any object you click on. This tool is used for editing or changing the anchor points of the shapes and objects. Next, we have the Pen tool, and this is the most important tool of Illustrator or any other vector software. Using the Pen tool, you can draw just about anything that you can imagine. It creates these anchor points when you click, and you adjust these anchor points to change the curve according to your needs. Learning to use the Pen tool is not very easy and needs practice. To get better at drawing shapes using the Pen tool, you should try out this really interesting game. It's called the Bezier game, and it helps you practice and get better at using the Pen tool. It gives you different shapes to draw with guidance. Okay, back to Illustrator now. Next up is the Shape tool, where you can draw some standard shapes like a rectangle, ellipse, triangle, and polygons. And then you have the Text, Brush, Eraser, and Gradient tools, which are pretty self-explanatory. Lastly, there's another important tool called the Shape Builder tool right here. The Shape Builder tool is a very useful tool to combine and cut shapes according to your needs. Now, I think you're very familiar with the interface of Illustrator and some of its tools. But if you've never used Illustrator in your life, I highly recommend you watch some tutorials or courses. Coming back to our sketches now, we will first scan sketches using a smartphone camera, and then we'll export the scanned files to your computer, and then add them to Illustrator by dragging and dropping them, just like this. Now you can go ahead and scale these sketches according to your liking. You can also reduce its opacity of it, so you can see it, but it doesn't come in the way of your work. So my sketch image is in place. Now I love this image by pressing Ctrl+2 or Command+2 on Macs. Now for this logo, I will first draw the boundaries using the Shape tool. I will draw a circle just like this. I will trace the other parts of our sketch using the Pen tool, just like so. Click on the starting point, decide an anchor point. Drag the handles and adjust the curve, and continue until the shape is complete. I'm using as few anchor points as I can make my shape a lot more uniform. And also it will be easy for me to edit it later on. You can also draw these parts by using shapes. Now we have converted our first sketch into a vector file. I will go ahead and draw vectors for all the other sketches that I like. That's how easy it is to convert your hand-drawn sketches into uniform, good-looking vectors.